So yeah, so I'm not really going to say too much
Right.
to start with. So, you know, you've never driven this car, so it's a brand new car. We're starting right in the middle of the city centre. You got your tests booked next week. It's your first attempt. Been having lessons with your mum. Lovely. Good. And so all I'd say is just, you know, get used to the car, drive to the best of your ability. I'm not going to give you like instructions to start with. I'm just going to sort of see where you are. So I'll give you route directions.
Yeah.
If I say anything you're not sure of, I'll repeat it.
Right.
And just pretty much follow the road ahead at all times, unless road markings or signs say otherwise. So we've already discussed, you've got a bit of a challenge here. You've got some no right turns and things like that, some signs, but we've discussed where we're going. So yeah, so just drive to the best of your ability. If I see something I think, oh, hang on a minute, if I don't feel you're dealing with a situation, I'll just come in verbally and sort of say, you know, if you're breaking the speed limit, for example, I might tell you to slow down. Or if you're going to do a legal manoeuvre, a legal right turn, when there's a no right turn sign, obviously I'll jump in and say something. Just like your mum's car, I've got dual control, so if I did need to take over, I don't only do that for safety. So I've got my dual controls. If there was a steering issue, I could always come in. But I'd always verbally say, like, steer left, steer right, if I thought you're getting a bit close. So it's sort of like the safety stuff out of the way. Just so you sort of know what I'm doing. So really, I'm just they just come to a grinding halt there. So I would just sort of watch you initially. Then if there's any things that I think, oh, do you know what, there's an opportunity to do some training, then we can come up with a training plan. And if you've got any questions as you drive along, just ask. I'll be happy to ask questions. Is it all right if I ask you questions as you go?
Of course.
And what else would I say? If I'll try not to distract you. I'll just let you drive.
Yeah, that's all right. So my mum distracts me enough.
I don't.
I'm used to that.
Too much. So you just concentrate and just do your best. If you need to put your windows up, just make sure you're familiar with where your window up is. If you need to do that, because it's a bit blowy. G'day. All right, Tobias. When you're ready, we'll drive on. Do you know you want your spot? That red car.
Yeah.
Oh no, they've dropped off, haven't they? So maybe they're not going to be wanting it. And did you check your blind spot there just before you go?
No, I didn't look over my shoulder.
Just in case you had a cyclist there. Are you alright with this?
It's a bit of a
it's
curb.
tight.
I don't want to.
If you need to just run up the curb there, just to give it a bit of clearance, you might need to, because it's quite a large vehicle and they've parked a bit far out from the curb, haven't they? That's it, you just pop up the curb there. Well, it's a nice low curb, we can go round. That's it, well done. Okay, so we know where we're going at the end here then.
Oh, this is so much different to
So the next junction, we're going to turn right. Good mirrors there, lovely. What we're going to do soon, at the next set of traffic lights, turn left.
So this.
Oh, sorry, interfering with you, grabbing my pen. Sorry about that. So just going to ask you a question. Just there we turn left.
Yeah.
With regards to signal, did you need a signal there or not?
No, because on the road markings that was a left.
Yeah,
turn left
good.
anyway.
And just follow the road round to the right. Okay, so just bears round to the right. And if you could take the next road on the right, Ring Road.
Oh, also going off to the right here.
That's it. You a football fan?
Oh, I don't mind playing it, I don't really watch it to be fair.
Do you play in a team?
No, I used to play for the school team, but when I left school,
It's restarted.
it's because it's petrol, that's why I just say used to drive in petrol.
So what would you need to do to compensate for that, to give it a little bit more? Yeah, a little bit more fuel. That's
I'm used to it's all like mainly clutch control on the Ford, so
yeah. And I think you said your mum's car's a diesel.
yeah, that's it.
You right dealing with this?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Are you familiar with the road ahead? What it does?
Yeah, you either go left or you go right, I don't.
That's it. So what I'd like you to do is follow signs for the A47 Great Yarmouth. Yeah, nicely done, good. I'm going to give you directions shortly. We're going to be taking the next road on the left.
Right.
It's still quite difficult to see. See where the black wall's running?
Yeah.
There's going to be an opening on the left there. It's quite a tight one, okay? Just to give you a bit of a warning. Well, that silver colour's gone. So next left
So
here.
you're going on the left, yeah. Up there.
So don't worry about it, just carry on. What we're doing...
Right, I thought you meant like go.
Yeah, don't worry. Up to the lights, we'll turn left at the lights.
Right, sorry about that.
Like I say, it's quite hard to see.
Yeah, no, I was confused. I thought you meant like go off here.
You're alright. You're okay. So you know we talked about left only lanes and not needing a signal.
Right.
If there was pedestrians waiting on the corner there, would you signal?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'd probably just look. Because would they know that's a left only lane?
Depends.
Yeah, they'd have to be quite knowledgeable, wouldn't they, about the road layout? I don't think most pedestrians would care.
Yeah.
Would they? They'd just think, I want to cross the road. And looking at the car, we could physically go ahead. So if you ever think a pedestrian might benefit, then consider that signal. Because the car ahead signalled, didn't really need to. We know they're going left because they're in the left lane. No, we've seen the road markers. But I'm just thinking, if you get pedestrians, then they would benefit. So something to consider. So the roundabout we've got coming up ahead, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I've been around it twice. So I think there's quite a few exits in there for.
That's it. Yeah, there's 5 exits on this one.
Yeah.
It's quite a small roundabout.
So you say it's third exit straight on.
That's it. So it's a shame you couldn't see the sign, because that'll give you sort of a little map in your mind where you're going.
Yeah.
But it is 12 o'clock. So I'll let you concentrate on this. If you need any help, ask, but otherwise I'll let you get on with this. It's just a tiny bit of gas, that's it. I'd wait.
This is actually the worst roundabout ever.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? There's busy to your right. What we could start to look for when we get a blocker, maybe this, if you get someone going across, might lock them in for a little while, give you a chance.
Gosh.
So just be patient, look for a safe gap. Remember to set the gas, that's it, that's it. Go ahead here, that's it.
Kind of pissed up on that one.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it, that one?
That one's because you've got like two that are like right next to each other and you want to go, and then you don't really know where that car's going because some people just don't signal like if they want to go round or left. So you sort of like...
Well, we'll have a look at that a little bit later because that's a good one to practice. Cause that,
yeah, last 2 times.
Do you think the lights might change here?
You could do, yes.
That's it. Just so you concentrate on that, just in case
Yeah,
you
because
do.
there was somebody there, I did notice him there.
And we'll talk about that for the roundabout in a bit because we can have a look at that. So
Me and my mum did do roundabouts and that was one of them. I literally went through it fine. I think I'd done it like twice and that. I was fine with it.
And what we're going to do, the next set of traffic lights, so like to turn right. It's a good awareness use speed limit, well done. And a good little gap you've left between you and the van in front. So why did you leave what's the reason?
Well, it's supposed to be tight on tarmac because it's a van, it's harder for him to see me, innit? If I'm right up his...
Yeah. And what benefit does that give you?
I can see him in the mirror.
Yeah, or if he broke down, you can get out. You can get round him. Good, but And it's good you got a signal. See them kiddies waiting to cross. It just reconfirms to them that you're going to be turning. That's it. Hopefully keep them on that footpath with a signal. Magic. And if you could take the next left, we're going to go into the car park.
Yep.
And at the roundabout, this little mini roundabout here, turn left again. Do you need that? Good. Got it on in time. We just follow it up to the hedge and we'll bear round to the right.
Cool, M4.
Sorry?
M4.
You like your cars then?
Yeah.
And once we clear this little crossing speed hump, if you just pull up on the left near the hedge, just tuck it out of the way. Lovely. Alright, and then secure the car. Relax. I might just open the window a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to do.
Alright, good. Good. So how do you feel? You had what? I don't know, what was that, 15 minutes?
Yeah, probably.
Just getting used to the car. I've been watching you, giving you directions. I didn't make any notes, but I have made some mental notes. So I'm going to just try and remember some of the things that we looked at. So as we've been going, I've been picking up on some of the good things you're doing. Yeah, so just along that road there, for example, as soon as that speed limit changed, you're aware that you're making progress.
Yeah.
you're planning well ahead to turn right at the lights. Yeah, so lots of positive stuff. You know, your tyres and tarmac leaving a safe gap. Lots of really good things going on with your drive. So from that, I think we'll just leave the stalling aside because you're going to get used to that as you get used to it.
Yeah, no, like I say, it's just because my mum's days on this petrol.
So aside from that, is there anything there that you think, do you know what? Yeah, what would you like to develop? What areas do you feel you could improve on?
I'd say parking's one.
Yeah, so you said that at the start. So look where we are. We are going to do a bit of parking.
Yeah.
So
I think overall, maybe I could do a bit better on roundabouts, but that was like, I'm usually alright with roundabouts. It was just that time. It was quite busy.
Extremely busy. Yeah, that's a difficult roundabout. Of all the roundabouts, you know, that's up there.
Yeah.
So if we put busy roundabouts.
Yeah, no, because I've done the roundabouts on the what's that new road with loads of roundabouts on it?
The NDR.
Don't know, the one in Norwich, the one that does the airport and that.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I've done all them. I'm fine with them. I mean, if we go down there, I wouldn't mind going down there. I do like them rockets.
Cool. Yeah, we'll get into there later.
Yeah.
So that roundabout, known locally as the Heartbreak Roundabout.
Really?
It's really called the Heartsies because it's
yeah.
But it does get a nickname of Heartbreak Roundabout because a lot of people have come a cropper, especially with their test, that they've. Yeah, no, that I see why that would put you off, like that would put you down on. For what I'd done there, would that been a minor? Because I was quite far out, and that was. Yes, you've encroached into it, and I said I would wait. Yeah. So I've just sort of intervened, and if you'd gone any further, then it would be a problem. So you'd get a fault for it, but would it be enough to fail your test?
Yeah, because I was a bit in the road, but then I weren't so much in the road. I was blocking something. Two cars could still both get around me, but I was just wanting to see if I did do that on my test, would I fail for that?
For what you did, now I intervened and said wait, like I'd wait there.
I was part. I was just trying to.
I felt, we don't know what you would have done if you'd carried on. Then you would have, because you would have caused cars to the right to stop. But where you sat it, you would get a driver fault because you have gone over your giveaway lines. You've started to go, then you've changed your mind.
Right.
The fact you've changed your mind is good because you needed to change your minds and allow them to come. So if you'd done that on the test without my intervention, then you'd get away with it. Because you've reacted to it. You've made a mistake. It's a bit like what we were saying earlier, like with the Bay Park. If you didn't get in it, you could correct it.
Yeah.
So you've not caused those cars to slam on their brake or swerve around you. You've encroached into their space, but they could still they were getting past you, weren't they? And had you have gone, then you would have affected them. So that's how they judge it on the driving test. It's like, did you cause someone to swerve, slow down, stop, change direction, all that kind of stuff would be an issue. So as you did it there, you'd live to fight on, So no matter whatever happens on you when you do your driving test, you just got to think, well, okay, you've done it now. Just react, do your best, and carry on. Keep calm, carry on. They say, because that examiner's going to look at your whole drive, and he's going to reflect on that and think, do I need to bring you back for that? And my feeling on that is what you did there is no.
Parking mode enabled.
But if you'd carried on,
right,
then they'd bring you back.
Yeah.
Cool. So okay, I'm going to write a couple of things that I just noted. I've made some mental notes. We did talk about signals. I think we're good on that now. I've managed to sort of, as we've gone, sort of talk about do you, don't you, and I think you got a good understanding on that.
Can you fail for telling somebody to go a direction and not go into it? Sort of thing. So say, when you said turn left, would that come up as
when we missed our turn?
Yeah.
Well, let's look at that. Would you fail for that? Well, did you do anything wrong?
Not to intervene with traffic.
We've
Done something wrong because I didn't go up there.
We've gone a different way to what we wanted to,
Yeah.
but that don't matter. So, hey, let's say you'd been signalling for it, and there was a car thinking, let's say,
Yeah,
this
there's
is
a car about to
this
pull
is
out.
you.
Yeah.
This is the car about to pull out. And let's say you were slowing down, signalling, and then they pulled out and you went ahead. That's another matter. But you weren't signalling. You weren't sure where the junction is. You carried on ahead. It didn't matter. If you suddenly, last minute, suddenly started to go in really fast, then that would be an issue. So you've reacted well to that. That was good. No fault recorded if that was a driving test. You've just missed your turn. And we've adapted and we've turned left at the lights. Happy days. So if you go the wrong way on a driving test, don't worry.
Yeah.
I had someone go the wrong way 3 times, one after the other. The examiner just pulled her up and said, "Look, just calm down. You're all right. We're going to carry on. Just give her a minute," and then they carried on. So no, you wouldn't fail for going the wrong way.
Right.
So other little things I've just written down. Oh yeah, but when we moved off, so sorry to pick on something straight away that you did.
Yeah, that's all right.
So when we moved out of that space,
I didn't check blind spot.
the little red car. So yeah, where should you look?
Over
before?
shoulder.
Yeah. So you check your mirrors, but just need to see that shoulder, and you're aware of
5-point check, ain't you? You got it.
that's it. So we understand that. So I took that one off. Talked about that. Mirrors. How would you rate yourself on your mirrors? You're probably thinking, well, he's going to say
no. It's like sometimes I remember to check them. Sometimes I just sort of just carry on with them, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't say I'm the greatest on them, but I wouldn't say I'm like never check them at all, because I do check them often. Just
so we have to check them often, but because there's so many occasions when you need to check your mirrors. Do you sort of know when, if you had to sort of categorise it into 3 occasions?
Yeah.
Do you know about that? Like when you would check your mirrors?
Yeah.
There's 3 key areas that you would check your mirrors. Do you know what they are?
Or you'd be like.
Don't worry if you don't, because I can fill in.
So you got like roundabouts. I think that's like quite a big one, just in case something like a bicycle. Like it's all checking your mirrors. You just mainly like bicycles, checking to see if you want him to go, to see if that's all right to go into that lane. Like if you're at like junction, a bicycle can easily pull up like beside you. You end up not seeing him in your mirror.
Yeah. So there's lots of times we should check them. So have you heard of MSM?
No.
Well, I'll just write that down. So we've got mirror,
signal, manoeuvre.
Yeah, there you go. So
I've never heard it like say in MSM.
So we'll check mirrors before signalling and before manoeuvring. Now, manoeuvre breaks down into changing speed,
pulling off,
and changing direction. So now that kind of quite neatly categorise every time you need to check a mirror. So if you're going to put a signal on, check your mirrors first.
Right.
Because you might affect someone. If imagine a little push bike was coming around here and you just whack the signal, they might think, ooh, that car's going to pull out and swerve out your way. So if we saw them first, we think, oh yeah, there they are. Wait, put a signal until they've gone or whatever.
Yeah.
Before changing speed, so change of speed limit, new road, speeding up, slowing down, like traffic lights, mirrors. Now, we had that pedestrian waiting at the crossing, and I said, ooh, are you aware that crossing might change?
Yeah.
So there we think like mirrors, because there's a potential for a slowing down. So that's what I've got. Mirrors for you, sometimes not before signalling, so you might come up to a set of lights and whack your signal on, and we want to see mirrors before you do that, before you turn.
Yeah, it's usually mirror signal.
Yeah, so you are checking your mirrors, but we can improve upon it, so we can get it more robust and think like mirrors for signalling, changing speed, changing direction, do all that. So that'll get you in a nice little system. So that's probably like quite high up there with things we'd work on. Speed, you just correct over the speed limit. In that 30. Now you're just completing an overtake on some cars. up until that point, your speed had been good, so you just got to crack up to 34. So just be aware of that. Talk about signals. Oh, and just a question really about gears. When you slow down, you run down through your gears, don't you? So if you're going up to a set of lights or a roundabout, you're going through the gears, which is fine. You can do that.
Are you going to say like from 5th to 3rd when you come up to the roundabout, is it?
Yeah, you can.
Or you skip a gear.
Or you can skip multiple gears. You can go from 6th to 1st if you wanted. Yeah, as long as you slow the car down before putting it in 1st. So it's not going to be a deal breaker for your test. They won't even fault you for it.
Oh, I just find it easier, like when you're coming up to it, because you barely have to touch a brake, do you? You're just using your gears to slow yourself down gently.
Yeah,
and then
so
you brake it
as long as you're using your brake, because what would be, let's say you didn't use your brake and just used your gears to slow down at a set of lights. What signal does that give off to the car behind that you're doing?
Braking.
Yeah, they wouldn't know you're slowing down, would you? So we'd definitely want to brake.
Well, I usually like I say, I usually have it like over it, like sort of halfway down.
No, I'm not saying you're braking and using your gears to slow down, so it's fine. There's no risk involved in that. It's just you really. You're doing more than you have to. You don't have to do that. You could say, do you know what? I just slow down, clutch first, seconds, and do one gear change. So often what we say is like one hazard, one gear. So you can come up to a roundabout or whatever, check your mirrors, slow down, take a gear and go. Brakes the slow gears to go.
I say usually when I'm coming up quicker, I'd usually go like 5th to 3rd, and then come to a stop in 3rd, and then put it in 1st. That's usually, but like I said, we've only been doing we haven't been doing that quicker roads anyway, but we've only done sort of...
So basically, I'm not concerned about it. It's just an observation. You can go down your gears if you like. Just be aware that you're using more gears, more effort.
Yeah.
Arguably a little bit more fuel. So they say. It's more eco-friendly, eco-driving to just do one gear change.
Yeah.
So we'll just sort of put that as like, something to think about, but we're not really worried about it too much, just an observation. So we said we want to look at the roundabout, don't we? Just to get your flow into it. So let's talk about that. I've just got a picture of roundabout, because I'm just going to use some terminology that, because obviously me, your mum, we might speak, phrase things differently, so I just want to make sure we're on the same wavelength.
I have done roundabouts. I think it was just that one sort of put me off. I'm calm with roundabouts. It's just that one was quite busy, and I was sort of
So you got a busy one. So let's say this was you here. I know the roundabout's not quite the same, and you had 2 lanes on your right, didn't you? You had a road to your right with 2 lanes, and they just kept coming, didn't they? Coming.
Yep.
All day long. Some of them went left and didn't signal.
That's when I could have gone. And then there was like one right there, weren't there? And they would come out, and they were near enough, just as close as what they were to the.
So you were right there. You were right to wait, because if they're not signaling, they're telling you they're going to come ahead. Yeah. So if you pulled out in front of them, you'd have had a collision. So it's just annoying, isn't it, when people don't signal? I mean, you could look at their position once they commit and get into there. As long as you're sure they're going in, then you could edge it in. But I'd be cautious if they're not signaling.
Some people do really swing out, don't they, and come round.
They can come in and round again, so you have to be aware of that. Then blockers. If I mention blockers, do you know what I'm even on about?
Blockers, like when a car's say them and the cars come round, they're like there.
That's it.
That'll be blocking.
Yeah, because these cars, they look at this blue one, or the one I've just drawn. They're going to, just like you say, they're going to have to wait. So
the problem is with like the blockers last time, because there could be a car come there, but there was already there was a car come around there already.
So some of your blockers actually come round, didn't they? Because they weren't signalling. If they were signalling right, like they should have done to come round, that would have helped you, wouldn't it? So a lot of that problem in the roundabout was other people not signalling to tell you where they were coming. So sometimes you waited for people that turned off, and you went. Then there were blockers coming round, not signalling, so you didn't know whether to go, and you waited, and then they come round, and that was the right thing to do. So they weren't giving you information. You were kind of telling, I guess, from their position that they were angling it round, so you can start to look at their position, whether or not they're signalling, and so that you didn't have many missed opportunities to go on that roundabout. I wouldn't say you were hesitant. All you did is went a bit too early when they were coming in. Yeah. So would you like to go practice that, and so we can just sort of get you there and just sort of think, like, you know, can we, can't we? Then we can come back to the obey part. So while it's fresh, while we still got it in our minds, because we know it's busy, and we'll keep it light for light. We'll be coming from the other side, but we'll go ahead. So I need to, actually, there was something I need to mention. It won't be quite light for light. Let me just explain something. Oh yeah, thanks for turning that off. Eco-friendly, yeah? Good. Just to explain, when we come up to it, there's going to be a big sign, hopefully not covered by a tree. Got to get this right now. It's going to say left there, full pens. Then there's going to be a road there for Great Yarmouth. Then on the roundabout side, it'll look dead ahead for Ipswich. And then it'll be like City, like that. So if you was approaching that roundabout and you know your exit, according to that sign, is dead ahead, if there were 2 lanes on approach, what lane would you pick? If it was like this, if you were coming ahead and there was 2 lanes to approach in, what lane would you normally pick to go ahead?
You probably, if that was me, I'd pick that lane. But it depends what the road marking is. If it says you can't, if you go that way, you.
Okay, there are no road markings. There's going to be no road markings.
Right. Okay.
So normally,
I would usually choose the inner lane.
We would say if the exit's at 12, normally we'd use the lefts and go round. Normally.
Yeah, but I'm only
well.
saying that because you've got 2 junctions there as well. So if you're going to be outside there,
that's it. But what you're saying, yeah, so you got to, yeah, your logic is good. You're going to the 3rd exit. So what we're actually going to do, the reality of this roundabout, when you get there, they've drawn the sign wrong. Your exit's over there to the right, so you will actually be turning right past 12 o'clock. So now you know that. What lane would you be in?
You're the right lane.
You want to be in that right lane. So that's good. And so would you signal right? Now you know what I've just said, that it's going to be over 12 o'clock.
Well, personally, I would. You're letting the people know that. Them 2 junctions.
Because you know where we were waiting before? You know some of them cars were coming round and they didn't signal and we waited and you were like, oh, I'm not sure where they're going.
Yeah.
We will be that car coming round and we will be coming round. So if we signal, that's going to help where we were for them to know where we're going.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, we might get people playing in front of us. So we will treat this as a turning right. So like I say, it's a complicated roundabout, isn't it? It's like there's quite a lot to think about with it, and local knowledge really helps with this one. So even though the sign will be like that, we're going to treat it as right. We're position right, we'll get a signal on right, we'll go round, count the X's off, take the 3rd, we'll be good. But then the main objective is to get the space going in, isn't it? So let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a go. And we'll work on them mirrors. So in terms of the mirrors on the way, do you want me to sort of give you a bit of a prompt when to check the mirrors? A little reminder?
Yeah, if I haven't done it, just...
So I kind of like, if I just start initially, like, okay, before you put that signal on, what 2 mirrors you're going to check? Just to remind you. After a little while of doing that, I'll hand it over to you. Yeah. So I'd give you a little nudge, so to speak. A verbal nudge, and then you can start picking it up. So it'd be before signalling, speed, direction, and then we'll get the mirrors tip top. So we're going to do a bit of mirrors, bit of roundabouts. And are you happy with how to get out of this car park?
Yeah, just go the way you came in.
See, after this little crossing, there's like it's like a painted junction. You go down towards the Harvey's store. And see where that bike is now. You'll emerge from that and turn right and go up there. Yeah. There are road markings with giveaways and things, but you can't read it from here. When you get there, you'll see what I mean. All right. And before you move off, where are you going to look?
the 4-point check. What is what?
Lovely. Nice clutch, a little bit of gas, beautiful. If it does start raining, do you know where the window wipers are on this car?
Use one of it on the right.
It'll be the same as the fall on the right, that's it, just up and then turn on. And you know how to shut your window, didn't you? If it shuts it down. Good. We've got auto lights on, so the lights will they're probably already on.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw it was on automatic. Brilliant.
Okay, so we're approaching a mini roundabout, so before you signal, what two mirrors are you going to check? Centre first?
Right, centre and right.
Centre then right. Always centre first. Do you know why it's centre first?
Just in case there's enough car behind.
Just because it gives you a true image. We can talk about that later. Okay. At the end here we're going to turn right. And while we're waiting, because it looks like we will be waiting, would you put your handbrake on?
Yeah.
And what's the benefit of doing that?
Because if somebody hits us in the back, we'll go flying out.
Good, yeah. Well done. And also, you don't have to show your brake lights to the car behind. Traffic lights, turn left. So before you signal, very good.
Of course, it's got some power going on.
So to leave it in third till you get nearer, so then you could brake, clutch. Now this is where I'd pick the gear, thinking what is it going to be? Yeah, second. So it could have been first, couldn't it? They'd save you a gear change, just saves that gear. So as we come into the new road, before you speed up, what mirrors will you check?
Check my right and my rear.
Yeah, and what's behind?
A taxi.
And what's the speed limit?
It's 40, yeah.
It's now 40. And then looking ahead, we have got a change of speed. I mean, it's going to be a change of speed. So before we slow down and touch that brake, what mirrors are going to check? That's it. And then you can show them brake lights, the taxi behind. Happy days. So that's because it's before a change of speed, isn't it? We talked about the traffic lights earlier. Someone had pressed the button so they could change. So any potential way you might have to change speed direction, have a little mirror check before the hazard, just in case. Car with a turn signal on, so there'll be a change of speed, so mirror check, good. And you're gonna see the sign for the roundabout that I drew earlier.
Yeah.
So if you look at that sign, we're going third exit Ipswich, and that sign is drawn dead ahead in it, but it's not, a slight right, as we've already discussed. So we're going to treat this as turning right. So before that change of position, what moves we check? And that one, yeah, good. So you're in a good position. Gives you signal, very good. And now let's focus on looking for that gap. It'll probably be really easy now, won't it? There you go. So we can think about blockers. Good, well done. Keep the signal on, keep it on there, because then blue car needs. So that's where, see, it's right, isn't it? So it's tricky. So where you cancel that signal, you could have invited that blue car out, the little Honda Jazz in front of you, and we need that on because he might have just gone for it. So here's a hazard, some mirrors, and we're going to be turning left soon. So if you look ahead, see where the bus stop is on the left? It's just after it, so it's tight. So mirrors before signal.
Did you say the left, sorry?
Yeah, left, and see where it is? So it's a very, very tight one. very tight. And in the new road, have you seen what's going on behind us?
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to take the next road on the left. So I'll leave the mirrors to you. When you can see it, think about when you're going to check your mirrors when you need to signal. Here's a bit hidden though, saying that. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Good. So good mirrors. And did you check this one?
Yeah.
Great. I just wasn't sure. I was sort of wouldn't put my life on it. I just wanted to make sure you did. Good mirrors for the car, parked car. Then if you can just pull up on the left in a safe place of your choice. Well, just roll past it, maybe just along here. So well spotted the bus stop, good. Relax, good. So we've done a bit of mirrors. We've done that. The Heartsease roundabout, so you can see now. You see why I wanted to draw it.
Yeah.
Because it's tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky.
It depends which way you're coming from, because like the way we were, it was like that was such an icky spot. Cause you had two that was like just facing you.
Yeah. So like the road ahead, the third exit was kind of there, wasn't it? So let's draw the curve around there. There was an exit there, and there was an exit there, kind of thing. And so we've gone in, and you've come in the correct position with your signal on.
I did put it on too early. And then I was a bit like, oh, I should have kept it on.
That little Honda Jazz wanted to come out, didn't he? He wanted to come in that roundabout. I've drawn it wrong. He was coming out from there. We were going to go in here.
I know what you're on about.
And so we were going around there, and then you pop that left signal on. So he would have seen that, and he would have thought, "Nice one, you're going to go in there," and he would have.
Yeah.
So that's why I just intervened, because there wasn't a lot of time to tell you there, because that blue car needed that signal, so we're carrying on round it. Then we went in, and it was there where the blue car was. That's where you was before.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, isn't it? Tricky. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go back. So we're going to do like for like. We're going to go back to where the blue car was, which means I've just got to renegotiate rounds to get there. And then you can sort of see it from both perspectives. So you get that, why the signals and position are so important on that roundabout. And then we can have a go at again what we did where we're trying to get in, because this time you'll have the road to your right with two lanes coming in. It's quite hard to make that decision. The one you just did was a bit easier. There was a single file.
That's the one. There
were less cars immediately to your right. When you do it on this approach, you'll have more cars. You'll have a road to your right with two lanes and cars coming around. So you'll have potentially 3 streams of traffic coming towards you. That makes it a bit tricky. Right, so let's go and do that. Happy to do that?
Yep.
Right, so when you're ready, we're going to move off, and you're going to do your checks. So good. And well done, by the way, for spotting that bus stop just then. That's good. And so left at the end, so before you signal, so there you go. So you've signalled, but you need to take them mirrors first. The centre left. When we get into the new road, we're not going to be in there very long, because we're going to take the next road on the left. So we're only going to go about 100 metres. Well, good. So at the end of the roads, we're going to turn right, but before you signal, what mirrors?
Check
You can check them all if you want. The centre right would be a bare minimum. Well, how's your view? Stop. Did you see him?
Yeah.
Good.
As I went to pull out.
Because that bush is like, needs cutting, doesn't it? So yeah. And at the end of the road, it's going to turn right. So over to you with the mirrors. Very good. This puts us back on the road we were on before, when we did the Heartsease roundabout. A little wave. Now this is another tight one, so just be cautious on you when you emerge from this one.
Look at that.
Yeah, good. Well, you like your old cars?
Oh, I like any car.
Right, okay. So here we are. This is where we were a little while ago, with the sign covered up. This one is ahead, 12 o'clock. It is the third exit, but it is at 12 o'clock. So how are we going to position? Well, this lane's narrow, so we can just be centre
It's sort
of
of
our
like
lane.
one lane, isn't it?
Yeah, so centre of our lane. Sorry, it's the second exit. I made a mistake. It's not the third. It's ahead.
There you go. We
second
got back
exit.
to where we were.
So I get confused. So you're gonna make sure it's safe. Do you trust the signal on the red car when he's got his wheels turned yet? Good time of signal. You know what's behind?
Nothing.
Good. So what do you want to? I know you wanted to do a bay park. You're keen to do that. Do you want to get into that car park? Because that's something you really wanted to do today, wasn't it?
I think now you said that. Now you said I can go out and in. That.
Just be aware of that pedestrian.
Yeah, I did see it.
And have you checked your mirrors?
Oh yes.
Good. So yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to make sure you're doing that. And what was your question? What were you going to say?
But now you said you can go out and then go back in. That's sort of like maybe a bit more confident.
Oh, in the bay park.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I thought you had to go straight up along and then go in.
As long as you get in there, in one preferably. So change the speed limit. What's behind?
No trouble.
And we're going to turn right at the lights. So before you change position, what mirrors is key to check here? Very good. Good use of signal. Try and leave it in this gear. Just put your hand on the wheel, steer it in. Just use your brakes. You're not going anywhere because it's red. Hop in the clutch, roll up to your tyres and tarmac. Then you've taken it out of gear then, you could just secure it with the handbrake, put it in neutral or first. It's up to you what you do after that. It depends if you want to rest your left foot.
Yeah.
If you was in a lot of busy traffic in rush hour, your left foot's going to wake after a bit, so you can have a little rest. Now, no car behind, so we haven't got the brake lights on, have we?
No.
We've got the handbrake on. What I would do as part of my defensive driving, if there was a car coming in, I might just show you the brake lights, especially when it's raining or at night, just to light it up, just as a warning, until you get a car behind. Like now you've got that van, now I'd be courteous and release the brakes, so he's not getting the glare, like this car's done to us. They're off their brakes.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so I'll leave this to you. Before you move off, mirrors. That's it. Just look for potential bikes coming up the side. And then once you're in, new road, what we're going to do?
Check mirrors.
Cool. Good. And what I'd like to do is, same as before, we're going to turn left back into the car park, then we'll have a little talk about bay parking. Did you check mirrors then?
Yes.
Before the signal? That's what I thought. So there's still more to do on that. We just want to get you a nice little system, nice little routine, MSM. Let's review. So use some mirrors. Getting better on it. But when I eased off there, I just thought I'd leave that to you, and then so your signal mirror. Just think if like imagine if you ever ride a push bike or so just imagine you're on your push bike and you're going past parked cars and they just pop a signal. What are you going to think in that split moment? Are you going to think, I'm in trouble here?
Yeah.
That they might just pull out? That they might not see me?
Yeah, I would usually think if they hit me, I'm going to claim.
Yeah, well, if you're still about. Let's hope you don't have to swerve out into the oncoming
But if you
truck.
see them like that, you usually swerve like sort of more into the middle lane, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing it. We're getting information before we give it. Because if we looked at our mirror and thought, well, there's a bike coming down there or on the inside, I think, well, we know he's there, and then we think about the timing of our signal and how that signal may affect him. So it's just a good routine habit to get into, because one day you'll affect someone, you'll be like, oh, I didn't realise I did that. So we want to do that. And then we looked at the roundabout. Oh no, rewind, because I never fully explained why do we check the centre mirror then the right mirror. So do you know what type of glass you got in the centre mirror? Have you ever heard the mirrors described as either being flat glass or convex, concave, anything like that? No. Okay, so in your centre mirror it's flat mirror, just like your bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
True image. But your door mirrors, if you notice, what does the door mirror do? If you pick an object that you can see in the centre mirror, it will look different in your door mirror.
Yeah.
Does it look further or nearer?
It looks further away.
That's it. So do you know what type of glass they call that?
Zoomed in.
Convex.
Yeah.
So it makes things, you get a wider field of vision, which is great. That's what they want you to have. But the downside is it makes it look further away than it really is. So use them in pairs. You check that one first to get a true image. So you think, oh, that car's close behind. But if you looked in that in isolation, you think you could be mistaken for how far away it is. So it's always used in pairs, centre right, centre left. If you get
used for different.
Okay, so bay parking. Okay, so you've done the bay park before in a different car.
Yeah.
With reverse in a different place.
Yep. that is.
So how do you want to tackle this? Do you want to sort of do it the way that you've been taught and you know to get it into a bay, and then we can review where you're at with it? Or do you want more help from me? I mean, how would you like to?
Could we try it once and then sort of like pick up on points that.
That's it. So I'll leave you to it. You'll only hear from me if you're about to run some little kiddie over or hit something.
I ain't in a Moxon's van.
So I just let you get on with it.
Am I allowed to go further down just because we like?
Yeah, you pick any bay you like. That's it. Good observations. Well done.
Oh, lovely speed ups. I can't see a bay that side. I feel I'm just out and
Well, if you need to correct it, if you want to drive forwards just to sort of straighten yourself out. You in?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just flick the key, just turn the engine off to set. Okay, yeah, good, you're in. So, how about the front of the car? Do you think you've got the front in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I felt I could go on a little bit more back, but.
Yeah, because we're quite a short car.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So there is a bit of room. But your front is in, so you are in the bay. Very good. And so let's just review that. How did you feel? How did that go for you? How are you feeling?
I felt I was a bit to the left on that side, but to be fair, it was quite alright. It was an alright part.
Yeah, so you corrected it.
Yeah.
So you had some choices to do there. You could have, when you got in and you wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You could have secured the car. You could have opened your door to see where you were.
Are you allowed to do that?
As long as you secure the car.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you were hanging out the door with eating tea,
Yeah.
the examiner's going to be like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my god!" So, so as long as you're in control, because like, think of it in the real world. When you park, you'll get out of your car, and if you looked at it, you think, "Oh my god, look at my parking." You'd get back in and move it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you was in the bay or something like that. So, so you wouldn't need to go. You could just literally put up and think, "Oh, that's where I'm really far from this line or really close to this line." So you could always do that. You could, if you wanted to, right, if you didn't want to open your door, you could knock your mirror down to have a look, or do what you did. I don't think I'm in, drive it out, get the view back in the mirrors and come back in, correct it. Which you did. So in terms of the accuracy part, if you had to give yourself a score out of 10, what would you give yourself for that attempt?
4.
You're a bit harsh on yourself. Okay, you had to correct it.
Yeah, but like 5, sort of like 5 and upwards. It's like when you get in, like, sort of, you might be a bit of an angle. But...
You're in now, aren't you? You're in the mid. You are in the bay, nice and square. So you have finished. If there was a parking attendant here writing tickets for people not in a bay, you'd be good. If a car parked next to me, there's room there. There's a gap of that. We've all got room to open our doors. So where you finished after the correction is good. So I would only really, for your accuracy, like deduct any points just because you needed another shunt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So to make that better, how could we get that up to a 10? How could you do it without correcting it?
Practice.
Well, we can look at your method and how you use the line. So we'll come back to that. What about what other key skills are they looking for? When I say they, I'm talking about examiners on a driving test. But more importantly, like, what are the key skills of reversing in? Like, what do you have to do apart from finishing the bay? Observations. So how are your observations?
They're quite good. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're
out of 10?
7 or an
8. Okay, I'd probably be lower than that.
Oh, right.
So where you were a bit harsh on your accuracy, I'd put more weight on your observations, because just think if there was a little kiddie running about.
Right, yeah.
So you were looking at your mirror quite a lot, and not much out the back in the direction of travel.
No, it's just because I can't see very much out the back, so that's what I was using.
So we can use your mirrors, all of them, but also just to directly look out the back. You've got big blind spots.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a shame. I mean, if you look directly at the back now, you'll see more. You'll see things in the mirrors you don't see. So you get a good all-round balance of observation. A bit like what we were saying earlier when you moved off with actually blind spot. There are blind spots, quite big ones out the back, especially on this side when you reversed behind me. And when you moved across because you swung it out, did you check over your left shoulder or left mirror before you went out? Because I
checked my left mirror. I didn't.
Yeah, so I'd check your blind spot as well.
Right.
So I missed that. So I didn't see you check the mirror or the blind spot. So it's a good job we're recording this, because we can let VAR. Look at it.
I should have said no now.
But yeah, we definitely need to do that over the shoulder check just to make sure. So yeah, that would be a thing to work on. Your control was good because you kept it nice and balanced on the clutch. You moved the car slowly, so very good control of the car. Dry steering, none of that. Do you know what dry steering is?
No.
It's just if you steer on the spot where you scrunch your tyres.
Okay.
So you didn't do any of that. Very good. So let's go back to the accuracy to get you in one. So I don't know what you've been taught. There's lots of different ways and methods to get it in the bay, as long as you find one that works for you. So when you chose your bay, is it just on your gut thinking, oh, look at that bay? And
I sort of tried to get the rear wheels, like to say, like sort of like that to get like the rear wheel sort of in line with that. So when you pull it like right round, you come straight in.
All right.
Sort of like get the rear of the car closer.
So how? Because we had to correct. You probably drifted a bit too far from the line you wanted, didn't you?
Well, I think it's because I don't have. If I left it on 4-lock, I think I would have been. But I sort of moved it back, so I was unsure.
Okay. So I don't want to start messing with your methods. So should we just practice that again? If you've got a way of judging to get your back wheel near there, because you'll see it in the mirror, won't you? You'll see that line down in the mirror. So if you put him across there, so what I would do, I'd put up in front of it first, have the look, put across at the angle. When we get about a 45 degree there, in that mirror, the line that you're talking about, for me, it goes diagonally through the mirror, sort of points into the corner near your door handle. But yeah, I know you've been teaching a different car. I think your mum's car's 4-door.
Yes.
So you might see 2-door handles. Yeah, so it could be a bit different. So, but yeah, get that line running into the corner. Then you can tack onto it and stay close to it. And then the other mirror will reveal the other line. Then you think, do you know what? You need to correct anything, you can.
Yeah.
All whilst all-round effects observation. So before you take that move, have a good old sweep round. Have you done pulling up on the right and moving off? Yeah, have you parked on the right side? Because that's something you'll need to practice.
Yeah, I've done that.
So when you pull up on the right and you move out, where do you look?
I'll just do my checks.
Do your mirrors, and more importantly, that one, isn't it? So that's what you'd need to do there, because you've pulled up on the right, and you're going to go across. So yeah, make sure your observation is good. Line up that line in the corner, and then stay with it. But more looks out the back, then will be good. Will be good as gold if you can do that. So so should we try it?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. So again, if you before you swing it out, just pull up in front of the bay that you're thinking of, because then we can just look at that and just maybe I can help you with, is it a good or a bad position to help you. What about, can you see where the drain cover is? Maybe just pull up in front of that one. I mean, it don't really matter which bay you pick, they're all empty. That's it. So if you just stop there for a sec, handbrake neutral, just for a pause. So I would say this is a good, really good position to start your manoeuvre if you're going into the bay.
Yeah.
There. So I always think of like, did you talk about reference points with things? Is that you might not need reference points? You might be like, I kind of get it.
What, like 3 bays in a reverse? Or...
Yeah, there's all that. There's different methods.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit reluctant to sort of confuse you, but I think I'm just going to go with it anyway. So anyway, look, this position we are now, we just need to recognise that, because this is good. So the first line of the bay is near your shoulder.
Yeah.
And the second, the line in front of you is under your mirror, somewhere. When you put across there at the angle, get a nice 45-degree angle. You'll pick up that line, the line that's under your mirror.
Yeah.
That'll be the one going diagonal. Tack on that one, and you'll go in. You'll have more visual on it. You'll see it for longer, and your back wheel, like you say, will be right near it.
Yeah.
Should we give it a go?
Yeah.
And before you move off, just imagine a little kiddie on a bike. It's going to go whizzing through there. And so move slow, steer really quick to get the steers on, that's it. And have another little left check, just in case it's changed. And now as you look back into your right mirror, you're going to roll it quite, I'd say a little bit more. Do more. Don't worry, I won't let you hit the hedge. Like there. Have you got a line running diagonally, like towards the door handle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just handbrake neutral, just for a sec, we won't do this, but if we were to get out of the car, your back wheel is now near that line.
Right.
Because you can see it in that mirror.
Yeah.
So now that is the line. Just try and stay not too close, but about that far.
Right.
Yeah. And then you'll well, hopefully go in on it. But more observation at the back. All round effective observation. That's it. And then another little look around the car just to check, and then you can look back to your mirror. And how you looking? You looking all right on that line? I think this is good. Yeah. And then another little look out the back just to make sure you're looking for little kiddies on bikes. So look directly at the back. Very not in there. That's it. So your mirrors is one thing, but the direct is like you can't beat that. And now your position is great, isn't it? Are you in?
I'm a bit close your side again.
Well, I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't think you're far off dead centre here.
Oh no, I could be alright.
So the gap on my side is that.
Right.
So I'm guessing you maybe got a slightly bigger gap on your side?
Yeah.
Marginally bigger? Don't think there'll be a lot in it, is there? Alright, so yeah, I got that. I got that.
Yeah.
You got that. So we're in.
Tall as us.
We're in. We're good. So yeah, you're right. You're right to be critical because you'd love to get it down the middle, and that's something you can get just with that practice. But did that help? Just get in that position, seeing the line, then you go round at that angle. You know, you went so far. Actually, this is what I was just looking at. Because you were there, and we got our position. So basically, your door was across the bay you want to go in.
Right.
Then we went across, and you kind of stopped there. And I said, we'll go more. Because if we tried to turn there, with the best wish in the world, we'd probably not get as tight to our line as we could have done.
Right.
So just by going a bit further, we kind of moved that line and changed the angle so we could stay near. Made it easy for us. So just by going further forward a little bit more, we only probably went about that further forwards at the ends, and then you could tack in on it nice and tight. So what we should do is just do one more.
Yep.
Just to make sure you're happy with doing that on your own. So you think, like, you put up in front of your bay, you kind of put your door across it, you got a line on your shoulder, line under the mirror, you go across it, you're 45, get the line crossing it, the mirror in. All round observation. Happy?
Yes.
Alright, let's go for it again.
I might do it the other side now.
Just to keep it like for like, you know, we did the roundabout and I was particular on going to the same approach. You saw the same thing. It would change what it would look like in the mirror. We will do that after, but just for this, just to finish this one off, let's keep it right, because it'll all look a little bit different. And then you might think, oh, why is it working? Very good. Good observations. Well done. And then that's where you need to go slow and look in that mirror so you don't overshoot it. What do you think? Does that look similar?
A little bit different.
It might be because we've gone a bit further forwards.
Yeah, it could be.
I think we might have done. But as long as you got that line, that's your target. Stay close. And remember, there's a little kiddie behind the car.
Is it?
Well, yeah, you got to look for him. Could be, couldn't there? Little 4-year-old, you wouldn't see him, so you got to really look out for him. And have another little look around the car just in case the situation's changed. Good, well done. Good observations. So you've opened the door there, you've done that, good, but you just try to secure it. So, are you in between the lines?
Yes.
Would you say you're more like down the centre? Like, because this gap now is bigger, it's like that.
Yeah, no, I felt a bit further to my side.
I think in terms of accuracy, that's more central.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Because the gap now on my side is bigger.
Mine's...
And I reckon it would be
mine's smaller now, but...
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's...
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, so we've just gone slightly the other way. You
Yeah.
stayed too close to that line.
I think it's because I went further forward on that one, so that's the reason why I was a bit more.
So you're in between the lines, and if you wish to correct that, you could. Is the front of your car inside the bay this time?
It's a bit forward.
I think we're we are.
Yeah, we are.
So how could you judge that? If you just back it up into the bay, go a little bit further forwards, not forwards, backwards, and where you look before, so there, that's that correction. You need to look at the back before you move, because that's the direction you're travelling. So now your front is in, and it's worth just noting, how would you know that without getting out of the car, just from looking at the bays next to you? How could you judge that you're sitting in the bay?
Because look at the other lines, and then obviously
Yeah.
in front of your car.
Are the other lines under your mirror, like over here somewhere? What's your perspective?
Mine was like sort of looking at them, and you can sort of judge it yourself to where your car's going to be with fitting along all the lines.
So that's, yeah, as long as you're happy, that's how it should look. Because this is good.
Yeah.
This is very good. Yeah, like that. So we've done it to the right. Accuracy's getting better. Observation's getting better. You just need to remember when you just moved it back, that correction to look, because a lot can change since you last looked.
Mm-hmm.
Could have had someone parked behind you. I know you're just checking your mirrors, but you need to directly look. And then the other thing you said, well, you wanted to try it doing right. So do you want to try that?
Yeah.
Because the principle's the same. You're still going to line my door up.
Yeah.
You'll go across. The line will look diagonal, but it might the perspective might be different. But let's see how you get on. So yeah, if you're ready, I'm good. So you pick any bay you like. So we've sat that door across the bay.
Yeah.
And when we go across, actually just handbrake news, just want to say that, I don't want to distract you.
That's all.
So when we go across there, do you know which line it is we'll actually be looking at going across that mirror? Will it be the one behind me or this one?
That one.
That's it. That's the one. So, because they'll all look the same when you go over there, but about a 45 degree, you'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll kind of. Now, this the benefit of this. It'll kind of come down and go.
Yeah.
But you see what you think, and then we'll stop where you think you should stop, and then I'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
You got a line going across?
Yeah.
Can I just come in your line of sight so I can see what you're seeing? You got a line literally going through your door handle, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's your line. Good, well done. Good that you remember to look all round as you go. Your control's excellent. Nice clutch control. Out of 10, the whole thing. You're a bit close to this side, so there you're about that close. So you've stayed close to it. So what could you have done differently to not be so close to that initially? When you pulled across, as you come back,
Sort of go straighter back rather than turn later than earlier.
And that, when you pass your test and you've got a car, you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
It's like a pair of shoes. You kind of get you get used to them. So this is a different car for you. And just after a few goes, well, this is the first time doing it on the right. You were in the bay, and you could be a bit more over. Your front's in. You've gone back the extra distance to get your front in. Your control's very good, and you're doing your observations. So if this was your I know you wanted to do this because you're worried about your driving test. If this was your driving test, do you think you'd be all right if you did the manoeuvre like that?
I think I'd be alright.
You would be. That examiner would be like, yeah, turn your engine off, that's good, and that's the end of your test, happy days. You know, you passed on that.
Yeah.
Or you might be doing it out in the Tesco car park, then you've got to drive off and do some more driving.
Right.
But it could be done at the end of the test, you know, when you get back in. So yeah, so good. Very good. So that's something to keep practicing. And also, as what you've done there, a lot of clutch control, you know, the initial stalling, you know, just now you're getting used to the car. I think that is going to go the way. If you're on a bit of hill, just give it a bit of gas.
Yeah.
Very good. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Do you want to do get out and do a bit of open road driving? Because I'm just aware. I know you. Yeah, I know you were quite keen to give it a bit of a spin, weren't you? So, and we've got. Well, your mum's not going to be there on the dot, is she? So we don't know if we're back a little bit late.
No, she ain't gonna be back like for a while.
So let's
whatever time you wanna.
Well, yeah. Well, I could take on a little route that will get you onto some more open roads, so you can get speed up.
Proper driving, yeah.
And yeah, because we've just sort of done a bit of city, bit of car.
I'm kind of jealous now. I'm gonna miss this guy. He is a nice guy.
Well, do you know what? My next car I want to get, which is a stupid car, but I'm seriously considering it. I want to get the Mercedes AMG 35, the A35.
How's that stupid? That's it's stupid for teaching it, but
it is, isn't it? It's like bonkers. It's yeah. So I'm the jury is still out on that one. It'd be automatic because you can't get them in manual.
Yeah, new car. I mean, what paddles are right, isn't it?
Yeah. 7-speed.
I mean, if you get that, you have to take me out, innit?
Yeah, you have to put a little rural road driving lesson.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, what we're going to do then, I want to take you on some open roads. I just got it's not 5 o'clock. No, it's nearly 5, but they're all going to come out of Aviva soon, so we're going to get going. Because if we hit that, we'll just regret it. 15 minutes, it's going to be like bedlam around here. So, head towards the exit, the way we did before. Yeah. So around there, whenever you're ready. Yeah. And then it's just a little cut through. And he would have priority at this little bit if there was someone coming.
I'll be them.
Yeah, cool. And what's the speed limit? Yeah. So you just slightly crept over there.
Yeah, I just want to get the speed going.
So that's good. It's good. That's good strategy driving because you get on with it. You know, you get on the road as long as you've mirror checked and go. Now we're going to go on some more open roads, so you might want to pop your window up soonish because it's going to get a bit blowy. And before you move away here, change the speed where you're looking. Very good. Yeah, because who might come up the sides here?
Bicycles.
That's it. Do a little bit of country road, bendy road in a while, then we'll do a bit of dual carriageway. So I'm going to give
restriction on how you're supposed to overtake bikes a lot more now, ain't you?
Well, I'll just let you know where we're going to go. The traffic light's going to turn right. Did you check those for you?
Yeah, I was already checking them.
So what was your question about the cyclists? About?
Because my mum was telling me there's like a new law that you got to overtake bicycles like a lot more wider now, ain't you?
Do you know what the highway code says? How much clearance? I'll let you concentrate on this. So I don't know. It's restarted now. So. Just steer more to right. That's it. You're just sort of drifting over that A35. Yeah. Don't focus too much on that car. I'd rather you just focus on this, to be honest. Yeah, I should have said that. That's good. And in the new road, what are you gonna do?
Check my mirrors.
Cool. And what's the speed limit?
20.
So there you, so look into that new road and just think, right, before you pounce on that old gas, then just think, right, what's that speed limit going to be? Yeah, so no, highway code and clearance of cyclists is 1.5 metres.
Right.
So what's your normal clearance when you go around a parked car? What should that be, a stationary car?
So 1.
That's it, 1 metre. So more than that. Now with a cyclist, as much as possible, if you can leave like a car width, do it. Or more, you know. The more space you leave it, the faster you can go round. So you could overtake them at 30 in a 30 if you've got a big gap. But if you're going to be on their side of the road and be close, i.e. but no more than 1.5 metres, then go slower. And just a quick question, what's the speed limit this road?
What, in this still straight?
Yeah.
Still 20.
No, that's not changed. It's changed. Yeah. Well, they snuck that one in, didn't they?
You know,
So it was 20, wasn't it? It's
it's gone up to 30
30.
now.
Then it went back to a 30. And I fear we're already going to hit it's Friday, isn't it? Friday, people tend to go a bit earlier, don't they? Let's hope it don't clog us up too much, because like I said, I just want to get you onto a bit of, you know, I want to see what you like on some bends, country road and bends, and then we'll take that dual carriageway and we'll get it back in. Done.
Yeah.
We will be a bit late getting back, but
Yeah, no, that's
all
fine.
right. I'm
fine.
alright with time as long as
Yeah,
you're
no,
alright,
I'm fine.
Good. Okay, the things are still recording. They've lasted a long time. They're going to cut off in a minute, I would have thought.
And get some high speed action.
Can you imagine watching that on YouTube? 2-hour video. No,
Well, that would be boring.
no, by now everyone's like gone. They're all,
Oh, mate, they'd probably be gone after like the first 5 minutes.
yeah, so
What is it?
we're literally on our own now. Like, there's just one person.
Even though it's me, I don't think I would have ended up watching this. And I'm gonna be like, oh.
There's just some weirdo watching it now.
I mean, like, you flicked through bits, didn't you? But you didn't watch the full thing.
So that makes me laugh.
Some weirdos randomly watching.
So what, are you going to keep clear? Why do you think there's that? Why have they said
Run
that?
people
What is
out.
that? It's for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
It encourages you to let one in. Now, let's say there was a queue of cars there, then I'd close the gap.
Oh, yeah.
Because two's just too many, isn't it? Just let one in, that's
I
what it's
think
for.
one's not too many.
Yeah, so well, that's because they can't get out, so they're just saying, look, hold that space, let one in. Really. We're going to be going left to this roundabout. Are you going to block that crossing?
Of course not.
Very good. Is that an offence to block a zebra crossing?
That is.
That is, yeah, good. Well, not good if you block it.
No, but to know that you're blocking it is good.
Did you check the mirrors before you signalled then? We're going left. I thought you. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to go left. We're going to get on the country road then. So what do you need to do differently there on that? Move
Check
away?
mirrors.
So, or more, because we stalled, what would compensate for the stall?
Check.
More power.
Yeah.
Just set the revs. You want to spike the revs up about 1.5, 2, and then that'll just ease you in.
Yeah.
Sort of a slight hill there as well. So looking well ahead, what's your next hazard coming up?
Junctions.
Yeah, junction on the right. And is there a change of speed limit cabinet? And if there is, if you're going to speed up, what are you going to do before you speed up?
Check your mirrors.
Good. Yeah, good. All the lights have come on. You might tell that the brightness of the dashboard has changed. So we are good without lights, because we'd want our lights on here, wouldn't we? Under the canopy.
It's dark, yeah.
Even though it's like the middle of June and it's like yeah, I don't know what happened to summer.
No, yeah, it's gone.
So we're going to be turning soon, so I'd like you to take the next road on the right.
Yeah.
Say what you're going to do before you even think about signalling.
Check your mirrors.
Good. Be aware of the change of speed limit. See, with third seconds where we could have done that, and then first, so we could have done it all in one. Good decision to wait there. Well done. What's happening behind?
It's a car behind.
What do you think about them?
It looks alright.
So they're a little bit close, I would say. Would you say? They sort of come up quite close there.
Yeah,
Now, if you look ahead, what's the change of speed limit?
60, national speed limit.
So what is the national speed limit on a single carriage? 60. So I want you to just drive at a speed you feel safe that you can stop the car at if a tractor comes around the corner. Yeah, very confident. No dabbing of the brakes through there, lovely. Hey, do you know this road?
No, I've not been on this one.
Okay. I'll see how you deal with this bit. Not so quick. Yeah, little bit quick there on approach. So you just had to get that gear into the bends. So if we get all that speed up before, so have a look at this bit. Before you change gear, just slow it there. Slow gear. Then you drive it round there. So you can be accelerating through the corner as you did on the original bend, on the first bend. So that's good. You just put it through on the gas, which felt good. Speed felt good as well, but yeah, just under the bridge felt a bit quick.
Yeah.
Gear could have been planned a bit earlier, so that would be something to look at. Rural roads, because we can get you slick on rural roads. We're going to go ahead at the next roundabout. So you're just going down them gears. See there, what I'd be doing, just mirrors, brake, slowing it in, whatever gear I was in, 5th, 6th, clutch down, look, gear, go. So you can do it in one gear change.
Where are we going? Left here?
Going ahead, so next exit. Okay. Now this is where we hope we don't hit a load of traffic, because we're near Aviva now, and they all come out, hopefully. I think we're going to be lucky. Yeah, we're going to be alright. We're going to go ahead at the next roundabout.
Yeah.
So you leave it in this gear for now. I'll just try and do a one gear change. So you do your mirrors, you bring in your brakes, we're going to go ahead, you keep braking, learn and not going anywhere. So then your gear, your clutch and gear, just when you see what you're going to do. So you're going to go for the overtake? Do you think he might cut you up?
He could do.
Could do, so just be mindful of that. Let's hope the instructors on the board and can control them.